Have you ever had some hideous closet doors? Lord knows I've had my share. So what I'm going to do is show you how to give them a cute little facelift using gift wrapping paper and spray adhesive. So for this project, all you're going to need is your designer gift wrapping paper, tape. My choice is aluminum because it works really well even with dirty surfaces, a box cutter, and spray adhesive. Make sure that you get the kind that has lightweight bonding and that's repositionable, especially if you're renting an apartment, so that you can remove it before you get ready to move out. And don't forget to get yourself a drop cloth, wide enough to fit in your closet to cover your clothes, as well as to cover the floor in front of your closet. And of course, don't forget your safety stuff. Gloves and a mask, and preferably goggles, not your glasses. This is kind of a large undertaking for me because I've never done it before, never watched a tutorial on it before. I'm just kind of going willy-nilly and hoping that it works. Now, the thing that makes it a large undertaking for me, I decided I wanted to do stripes, and stripes got to match, right? We want it to look professionally done. So I've got to be really careful on making the stripes that I start with on this side being the same ones that I start on this side. Now, I really wasn't certain if I was going to show you guys this because I am really tired, I am really hungry, and it's late. I've been working on my bedroom all day and I didn't know if this was actually going to work, but now that I've done one whole door with two different gift wrap paper, I'm pretty confident that I can show you guys how to do this, and you should do it too because it looks great. I really would have liked to show you the panel on the outside of the door because it's the most difficult, because you got to make sure that you tuck it back inside of the frame of your closet. But if you don't use stripes or anything that you're trying to get to match all the way across all four doors of your closet or all four panels of your closet, you should be okay. Just make sure that when you do the door that's back here, the door that's next to the frame, that you tuck your gift wrapping paper or decor paper or decorator's paper or designer paper back into the frame so that you don't have pieces of your closet showing, because I did. So we're going to get started. This gift wrapping paper I bought from Joann Fabrics. I think it was $6.99 a roll, and there's quite a bit in here. I think my doors are 7 feet tall. There's probably 8 or 8.5 feet of this stuff. And I think it comes 20 inches wide. I think my doors are only like 17 inches wide. So that's really great. Make sure that you measure your doors before you go and buy the gift wrap paper to make sure that it actually will fit. And then it's long enough and wide enough to fit your door. Because you need to be able to tuck it around each side of the door so to give it a wrapping effect. So to begin, go ahead and grab your spray adhesive, and you're only going to spray like 20% of your door up here, because this stuff works really, really well. I'm going to use it for a couple other projects that don't have to do with these doors because this stuff is amazing. And this is by Loctite. I also got this at Joann Fabrics. I think it was like $11. It's worth it. You just use your coupon on it and you will be able to use this stuff forever. It's not like spray paint where you get the one use out of it and then that's it. Like, you'll be able to use this for several projects. So make sure that you have your clothes in your closet either wrapped or out of the closet because they will get sticky. I messed up a sweater and a blouse over here because most of my clothes were covered. They just weren't covered because I had to push the door back a little bit more in order to do what I needed to do, and I messed it up. So I'm going to investigate and see if there's something I can use to make those blouses and sweaters unsticky. If not, they're going in the trash. I got enough clothes as it is. And my carpet in front of the closet is sticky. because I don't have a drop cloth to put down there, and I'm a little willy-nilly. Like I said, I'm tired and I'm hungry. So let's get started. Spray just a little bit of the adhesive on about 20% of the door. For the stripe, I'm going to start with black at the top, and hopefully that will give me the same striping pattern so that the doors will meet together and be striped. It might be off just a little bit, but at this point, I'm okay with it. Because you're not really going to see the doors full time. I'm going to have shears up here. As you guys can see, I've got brackets above the closet. Okay, now once you've got the top part slightly tucked down, you want to smooth with your hands. And if you get too many bubbles underneath, you just lift up the paper again gently so that you don't rip it, and then you continue smoothing it out with your hand. Now, to make things easier from this point, because the top part is adhered, you want to go down to the floor and you want to cut away the excess paper. Now, you can do it one of two ways. You can go ahead and smooth your hand down and use your box cutter and cut right along the bottom of your closet so that you don't see your closet, but that the paper stops right at the end of your closet. Or, what I'm about to do is just take some regular scissors and cut the excess for right now, and I'll come back to. That's all the excess that we have left, quite a bit. You can actually line your dresser drawers with it, or you could use it for decoupage on top of your dresser. So far, so good. Okay, moving on. So we've only got from here to about here attached. So we're going to go back in, lift up the paper just a little bit, and spray. Now, if you want a stronger hold, you can spray both the paper and your closet door. I really only need to spray the closet door because I do want this to be repositionable. I don't plan on moving out of this apartment anytime soon, seriously, but I may at some point want to change the paper that's on the doors. So just go back in, lift up the paper just a little bit, and I'm going to spray the actual door, not the paper. One thing you really want to be careful of when you're doing this is, if you have long fingernails, when you spray it out of that can, some of the adhesive may get on your nail, and then when you go to press down on the paper, the adhesive may get on the paper. Make sure that you clean off your fingernail before you start to smooth the paper down. Otherwise, you're going to get a stain on your paper, and you do not want that. Okay. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to seal this edge right here onto your closet door's edge. So you just take your spray adhesive, and you don't need to spray it as wildly on that edge as you do on the door, because this spray adhesive, again, works really well. You don't need it a whole lot in order for it to adhere. If you do use a lot, it'll take longer to adhere. You just want to use a little bit. So go pretty moderately to fast pace when you're spraying your edge. Wait a few seconds for it to set. And then you kind of want to smooth it around the edge. Don't just press it down, otherwise you'll get buckling and bubbling. So smooth it around the edge. Once you got that in here, get your box cutter. And you want to take it about in middle ways of that edge, because we don't need all this excess. That's going to interfere with the other door panel. And just simply peel it away. The top of the door here that still needs to be folded down to give it a really professional and clean appearance, you can do one of two things. You can use the spray adhesive and spray along the top edge of the door. I'm not having good success with that on the other two doors, so I'm going to choose to use tape and tape it down. It's a quick little hack for you. I think because these doors are really old, there's a lot of dust and debris up there, no matter how often or how much I would clean it, it probably wouldn't make a difference. So I'm going to use tape instead. However, right here where the closet door runner is, it needs to be trimmed just a little bit so that it'll lay down around that fixture. And then I'm going to fold this little corner here, and I'm going to use that aluminum tape to tape down this top part here, just on the top edge around to the inside of the back of the closet. So you won't be able to see the aluminum tape from our side. Also, I do not suggest using a chair during this project. Get a ladder or a stool. Unfortunately, I don't have either one in my house, so I have to use a chair. But trust me, I've almost fallen off of it a couple times. It's not safe. Okay, before I finish up this edge right here, and I'll be done with this door, I'm going to cut away the excess down here at the bottom. Simply going to feel, well, kind of take a look first and see where the paper's ending, which would be right here on this white stripe. And then set your box cutter to about the first little blade there. Put your safety on. And then give it a small trim. Right underneath of where the closet is. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the outside, or I'm sorry, the inside edge of the door, and then I'll be back to show you the final result. So, how do you like the finished result? I love it. So I ended up putting on 2 crystal knobs, one for each door. I would have liked them a little bit bigger, but these were expensive enough. They were like $6 a piece at a local hardware store. And I really do like them. I did use a washer on the inside of the door just to keep it a little bit more secure pool. Because these doors are old, where the hole was drilled for the pools was kind of like, it was a damaged area. So the washer that's on the back kind of like fills in that hole so that this screw that's holding it on the door won't pull all the way through the back side. One thing I have noticed though, since this has been done for a few days, is because that adhesive is only for a temporary bond, the door does have some bubbles and pockets in it that it develops throughout the day. So you may want to go one level up. Instead of lightweight bonding, you might want to go for the medium weight bonding. If you plan on keeping your doors like that for a longer time, just so that you don't have to, once a week smooth over it and kind of like press down the paper back to the door. It's happened a lot with the bedroom door, which you also saw in the last picture. I went ahead and adhered some gift wrap paper to the door as well. That seems to be doing a lot more pocketing than this one is. And one other thing, unfortunately, as you can see here, my stripes don't match up perfectly. That is not to my fault because the doors match up perfectly right before they close. If you look at this right side door where the track is up at the top, that fixture runs it, it hops up like in the last couple inches of you closing the doors, the door goes up. I don't know why. I am not going to fix it. It's fine with me. I like the way that the doors turned out. But hopefully you enjoyed it and it'll give you some ideas for doing some decorating in your own home. And continue to stay tuned for other parts of the project for my bedroom redecoration. Because even though the decorating of the closet door is done, I still have yet to put up the shears and the tie backs for the doors. So stay tuned for all the rest of that too. Thanks for viewing, guys.